Welcome back, guys. Today we're covering one of the highest potential projects out there, Fetch.AI. Not only does this project have incredible fundamentals, but Fetch token just broke a few key resistance levels and is geared for a major pump in the rest of 2021. In this video, we'll briefly touch on recent news that has come out about Fetch. Then we'll dive into some charts, signals, and price predictions. Let's get started. So since we're focusing more on the charts today, I'm just gonna kind of gloss over what Fetch.AI does. It's really important to understand what projects do before you invest in them. So I'll link my favorite video of the description of what they do below, and we'll go from there. So just kind of understanding what they do at a very, very base level. It's all about AI. It's all about improving interactions and tasks and kind of replacing human beings in some critical aspects where it's making the function a lot more efficient. So here's just kind of a wide breadth of what they're looking at doing, and this is where Fetch becomes really, really interesting because they have a ton of different use cases, a ton of different industries to play in. So there's obviously a lot here, but I just kind of want to touch on a couple. The really interesting one to me is the supply chain use case, where they have these automated AI robots that essentially order their own supply, build their own inventory, and negotiate prices via what's going on, and all that information is coming from smart contracts. So you can see just how incredibly powerful this is, and it's not like this is a pipe dream, right? So Fetch is actually starting to partner up with other companies. So companies like Bosch, T-Mobile, Datarella, Intel, companies twice their size don't have partnerships like this. So this is really, really exciting to see. And they're bringing a lot of real world applicability to their AI technology, which we haven't really seen that much of yet in the economy. Fetch actually recently announced that they're going to be presenting a partnership with Bosch Global and Ocean, along with Datarella, to help the future of automated parking in cities. So they're actually launching in Munich, and they're actually making this announcement at the IAA Mobility Festival. This is kind of the biggest mobility and transportation festival of the year, so it's super, super exciting for Fetch to be taking part in this, and I think we're gonna see that on the back end on the price of Fetch. So now kind of going to a few recent news bites. They recently got listed on Binance with staking capability. So this is going to bring a little bit more volume, a little bit more exposure to folks who prefer Binance and can now stake their FET there. Probably going to bring a little bit more people into the Fetch AI group. So they recently got listed on Coinbase just in late July, and we're kind of seeing this influx of trading volume as we expected, and it's kind of led to this accumulation and this kind of upcoming pump in FET. And to kind of go off of that, we're seeing this incredible volume in the last 24 hours. I mean, almost 100%. Market cap up almost 17% over the last 24 hours. So we're seeing this kind of accumulation, all of this positive news and fundamentals finally start to pick up for Fetch. And that's why I'm really, really excited and can't wait to talk to you about the chart. So let's get into it. Excited to talk about the patterns. All right, so here we have the Fetch AI chart. And before we dive into any details, let me just say what a gorgeous chart it is. So, for months on end, we're forming consistent higher lows and higher highs. So we always love to see that. And it's been on a consistent basis. So it's been doing this basically since its initial coin offering. I'm not gonna go all the way back just in the interest of time. And as we've kind of scaled up in price, we've also seen before every kind of big move to the upside, we've seen these week-long bullish triangles form. So this is from August 1st to August 8th, about 7 days. Then we pop up to a all-time high of 78 cents. We drop back down. We kind of have this accumulation period, sideways movement period of about 2 weeks. The latter half of that 2 weeks is again this bullish rectangle forming before, and that's again just about a week. And then we pop again to the upside, and that's kind of where we find ourselves today. So it's a lot is going on. It's an exciting project, but I want to kind of get into what's happening right now, what's happened the last couple weeks. So before we get into the good stuff, let's just play devil's advocate for a moment. Let's mark a fib retracement here and say, okay, if we don't break the fib extension levels that we're about to cover up here on the upside, if we don't break those, what type of retracement are we looking at? So just to kick things off, I'd say, if we find continued resistance up here and, start to kind of head back to the downside, we're gonna test this kind of key 66, 67 cent level, because that was our kind of previous support. And it's right there on that fib level of 382. If we don't find support there, we're gonna probably tick down closer to 61, 62 cents down here. And then hopefully kind of find a rebound point once we move back below the moving averages. So I don't want to spend too much time on the downside. Just want to acknowledge that, of course, that's always a possibility. I'm not a financial advisor, so I always want to kind of address those possibilities when we're talking about kind of going in and investing in a project. So getting into where we could be headed from here and a few price predictions, let's pull out a Fibonacci extension and just look at some potential key resistance and support levels. If we come back up here, a couple of key levels I want to point out. So if you've been watching Fetch, the last week or so, you would have known that we've been battling this fib level of 74, 73 cents right around here. And it broke out today specifically because we finally got above this 77 fib level. So we saw this clear the 734 level, and then once we saw it clear convincingly above this 382 Fibonacci level at 78 cents, that is when we really kicked it into high gear, and now we're checking this 80 cent fib resistance level right here. So if we see ourselves get above this is when it can really get interesting, because we could see, a mid to short term move up here, probably between, $1 and $1.20. So this is kind of where we'd expect to be if we end up breaking these fib levels right here. If we end up showing between this resistance and support level that we should be a little bit higher, and we start closing candles above this 618 Fibonacci level right here, we are going to be looking at a short to mid-term price target in between 95 cents and $1.20. And obviously that's short to mid-term. I'm super long-term bullish on Fetch.AI. I'm hodling, and I think end of year we could be seeing a couple dollars, maybe even $3. And the other thing is that we're actually forming that bullish triangle that we talked about earlier in the video right here, as we would expect. Obviously this hasn't been a week yet, but it's actually just about almost a week. It's just a day shy of a week, and look at that, right on time. We broke out once more. So this is kind of another reason why I think that in the long term we're going to see, especially actually short to midterm, I think we see Fetch get above $1. But longer term, obviously, like I said, I'm hodling. I think we see a couple bucks or $3 even by the end of the year. And then in terms of into the future, I think this technology is going to play heavily into where our society goes. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you found any value, please drop a like. And if this is, stuff that you're interested in, feel free to subscribe. We're posting videos once or twice a week, and, love engaging with the community. So thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.